All right. So today I want to talk about setting up TradingView, going through the basics. So how to make watch lists, how to alter the settings of the candlesticks of the chart in its whole, how to add indicators, etc. So I went back to the basic setup of TradingView. Normally, if you start up TradingView or you are a new user of TradingView, the setup would look like this. You won't have this list because this list will be empty. So let's start first with this watch list. As you can see here, I have different lists of different pairs. I have a list especially for the 180 trade challenge. I can make that bigger for you guys to see. So these are the pairs I use for the 180 trade challenge. Then this is just my crypto watch list, and also have a forex and gold. These are the holdings, so these are coins that I hold for long term, and I have a market cap and traditional finance, which is the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, etc. Just to have a take a look at it sometimes, and a market cap, which sometimes says a lot about where we are heading, etc. But it's just my setup. So especially when beginning, it's not necessary to have multiple watch lists. What you can do is just add a watch list by ticking on what it says here. I think if you start up, you only have this list. So if you click this, you can create a new list. Let's do an example one in this case. You can name it whatever you want. And then you will have an empty list without any tokens. So for starters, let's add Bitcoin. And if you press the plus symbol here, you will get this add symbol pop up, and there you can search for any coin you would like. And if you're searching for Bitcoin, you will get a whole list of everything related to Bitcoin. And you'll see here, this is the Bitcoin USD, so the Bitcoin dollar. But if we are trading, you want to have the Bitcoin USDT chart. And I think that for starters, the best way is to also pick out the maxi chart. And then there is two charts always. You have a spot chart. Well, you can add it if you found it. You can add it by pressing the plus, and then you will see it appear on your watch list. And this is the spot chart. And then you also have, when you trade futures, there's always a futures chart. And to find those, you have to add plus P, point P behind it, and it will show you the futures contracts. And here you find Bitcoin USD point P, which is the futures contract, and you will see a slightly different price in these. The prices differ a little bit. There's also, if you just want to add a number of coins from futures, from Maxi, there's a shortcut doing that. If you see here, you have multiple choices. If you choose crypto, you get another list of choices. You can choose all sources. If you click that, you get a whole list of all exchanges. And if you only want to search on Maxi, you tick Maxi, and now you will only see pairs that are on Maxi. And if you can then even do it on spot and futures, that's something that might confuse you. If you're looking for the futures pairs on Maxi, choose swap. And you'll see that it then will show you, it's called swap crypto, swap contracts. Then it'll show you the whole list of every future contract there is. Yeah, definitely recording this, always Crypto Club, always. Because maybe this goes too fast, so I will try to put it out on video tomorrow, so you guys can watch it back at ease. But here you can find, so if you select Maxi and you select swap, you can find all the futures contracts. Especially if you're beginning, I would suggest always just use the top 20 coins. The biggest coins, not the top 20 you see here first, but use CoinMarketCap or your CoinGecko app to see what the top 20 coins are and just add those to start with. And if you really want to take it easy, I would say just stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum just to get the grips with trading. So this is adding symbols and adding watch lists. So create new watch list. You can give it a name, and if you save it, it will show up as a new watch list. I'm not sure if you use the free version, how much lists you can make. I know you can't add more than 10 symbols, I think, if you're on the free version. So there's a slight difference between the free and the paid version. So you're limited on the free version for symbols, but you shouldn't need too many. How do you say it? You shouldn't have too many pairs in your list. So for now, let's stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So now you have a chart and you have a watch list with, in this case, 2 coins. Now there are 100 of things that you can change. So I will just keep it to the basics. You can go to this wheel here, and that's the wheel for the chart settings. So if you click that, then you'll get a whole list of things you can change. And let's start with the top one. The top one says symbol, and this relates to the candles that you see here. So the body is the big, how do you say it? Well, it's the body of the candle, the green or the red you see, and the borders are just the border around it, and then the wick, you can all give them separate colors. So if I change this to black, you'll see the candle change to black. And if I zoom in, you'll see in this case that the border is still green. So if you want a clean look, you can keep that green and make that even red. So you can play around with colors just to see what you find best for your liking. At this moment, I use blue and gray. So let's put it on that for now. So as you can see, you can easily change to whatever color you like. Welcome, Nikki. So like I said, you can find all chart settings in here. So it says price line. You see that the price line is moving here. You can put it on or off if you want. Some people find it relevant to have on, so they can, if they are scrolling through a chart, can see the current market price on the chart. Some people take it off. I'm not sure. I think I have it off on my regular chart. You can also have the high and the low. So as you will see, let's put this a bit on the side, is that it will map out, or it will show you with these lines what the high and the low is on the chart you are looking at. So if you zoom out or zoom in, it will change the high and the low. I don't find it relevant to use. It's easier for me to just draw the lines themselves. You can also alter the time zone. Some people like to put the time on London time or on New York time, because a lot of trading sometimes evolves around New York exchange opening. I just have it was on London, I see, standard, but I change it, of course, to +1 Amsterdam, because this is my time zone. Making it easy, I just leave it at 12:42 p.m. Yep, that's right now, that's London time. So you can change that here. Let's see, some things I never looked at, so I won't, especially you won't use it. Let's see the scales. Scales, like price scale, you see on your price scale there is a clock ticking down. Well, you can, if you want, can put it down, or you can tick it on or off. So you, if you have the countdown, it'll tell you how many times, how much time the bar has left before it closes. And like you see, this is the daily, as you can see here, daily, the 1 day chart. So this bar takes 24 hours, and of that 24 hours, there's still 11 hours and 16 minutes left. So I would advise to keep that on, so it's easy to spot how long it takes before a bar to close. The plus button refers to this little plus button that you see if I go over the chart on the right hand side, and you can tick that plus button to add an alert or draw a horizontal line immediately. I personally only use it to add alerts. So let's say if I want an alert, I just set an alert at 37,000. You can go there and then you can set the plus and set an alert. It automatically adds an alert, as you can see here by the black triangle. I will delete it for now. Back to the settings. So we were at scales. Nothing really exciting about this one. Well, I think this is an important one. Canvas settings are referring to mostly the chart, basically the chart styles, like your background, the background color, the crosshair, like you see here, the crosshair lines. So you can all change it here. So you can, like the background, you can change it to whatever color you like. You can have a solid or a gradient background. Gradient meaning you can have two colors. I like a clean chart, so I usually have just white. The grid lines is what you see here in light gray, or those blocks that you see. I don't like those blocks, so I have them set to none. You can have them on, as it sometimes makes it easier to watch certain levels without drawing any lines. But my personal preference is to have them off. And then you have the crosshair. You can change that color too if you want. So most of these things are personal preference. If you want to color them a certain color or a certain thickness, you can choose a thickness of the crosshair. So if I make it very thick, you'll see that it's, well, if you are not good looking, and I mean not good looking as in, well, that's kind of crazy what I'm saying now. Good looking is not what I meant. If your eyes don't work well, you can use this thick line, but I was trying to make some funny comment, but it didn't work well, I think. Anyways, below the crosshair we have the watermark, and watermark just sometimes you see it if I use it, different one. Stop, Nikki. I'm going to kick you out. I'm not digging a hole. I'm just okay. I live with myself, so I can handle me. As long as you guys can handle me, then it's okay. All right. So you can have a watermark if you want. It'll tell you what time frame it is, what coin pair it is. So if you share a chart, it'll show you what it is. I'm just seeing Bitcoin crossing 37,000. We are going. Bitcoin is going at it. So that's watermark. You can scale text, etc., which is usually just at 12. So everything is tweakable. You can tweak everything. So make sure you go yourself through this. Then I don't do nothing with this trading part. Some people will have their broker attached to TradingView, so as long as you don't have that, you shouldn't be noticing anything at this. And then events will show you economic events on the chart. So you'll hear us sometimes talk about news events on the that have an impact on market. So if you have them on chart, they will show on the bottom, and as you can see here, you see this around American flag, and if you click on it, it'll show you what news is expected. So this is let's see, November 9th, Fed Chair Powell speech at 7 p.m. Local time. So it will show you also in local time the news events. Usually they show up on charts that are impacted by the news. So it's possible that Bitcoin gets impacted by the news that's shown on this chart. These are latest updates. You don't have to. This is the latest updates and mine. So that's just something. That's some news, and will most of the time show news related to the chart you're on. So if I am on a Bitcoin chart, it will show Bitcoin related news. If I go to an Ethereum chart, it'll probably show Ethereum related news. So it'll change with the chart. You can also turn it on and off by turning off latest news and mines. And you will always have in this block right here also, I think, let's see, you can also have latest news here. So if you scroll down, there used to be news here. So the latest news is shown also. If you want the economic events on your chart, you can have only futures events or all events. So if you can see here, if I tick it off, it'll show every event that's passed. But if you only want to show futures events, it'll get less gloggy on the chart. You can also have news notifications. I think this will mean that if you have a notification about news or new news, it will pop up on the chart like the pop-up you have when you have an alert set. Then there's also this one which says alert lines on chart. Let's say if you put an alert on the chart. add alert. We'll have to wait. Something's not working. Let's see. Why doesn't my alert work? Let's try here. New alert. Nope. All right, as you can see, there's an alert here. And now it'll show that line too. And sometimes I think the standard setting is that it's on. So if you put on an alert, you'll see this this line on your chart. So if you put on three or four alerts, it'll show 3 or 4 lines. So if you go to settings, events, you can check this or tick this off, and it'll only show this little black triangle which says this is an alert. Let's delete this for now. Okay. So we talked about how to change the color of the bars. At symbol, you can change the canvas. So grid lines you can turn on and off. You can choose the color of your background. You can add a watermark if you want. So those settings you will find here in chart settings. So you will always have these settings. And once you apply those settings and you have the settings you like or you want, you'll see here it says now basic. So this is my here you can save all charts and all chart layouts. So if you have this layout and you want to save it, you can tick save layout. It's saved at this moment. Auto save is on. You can rename it to whatever layout you want. As you can see, I have a layout for the 180 trade challenge, for the trading challenge, for trading and for scalping, which have different indicators and sometimes also different colors. Here you can also make a new layout. So if you plus it, and as you can see, I have the essential plan, which only has 5 layouts. So at this moment, I am having 5 layouts, or 4, I think. It doesn't let me add a new one. But this basic, you just save it. You can save it here. So I think on the free plan, there's only 1 layout you can use. But make sure to save it by, because if let's say if I change the background a bit, as you can see, it will say save here. You can press on this one and it'll save automatically. As you can see, if save is gone, it means you have your changes saved. So back to all white for me in this case. Then standard, you will see volume bars below. I will put out the news too. Events again, economic events and latest news off the chart. We'll keep it clean. You will standard have these bars below, and these represent the buying or selling volume. If a bar is green, the higher the bar, the more buying volume there was. Well, the higher the bar, the more volume. And if it's green, it meant there was more buying than selling during that period. So this is a daily chart. 1 candle represents 1 day, and also 1 volume candle represents 1 day. And meaning these are green candles. That day there was more buying done than selling. And on red days, red candles, it means on that day there was more selling than buying. This is where you see volume ticks. and that refers to this one. You can either remove it, you can alter the settings, or you can hide it. Your indicators, if you use indicators, they will show up here. I will remove it for now because now we have a clean chart. Only candles, only price action, nothing more. And I will show you how to add some indicators. I won't make that I won't go into depth with the indicators. I'm just going to show you how to add indicators. Indicators, you'll see on the bottom, on the top, an indicator button. If you press that, you'll get indicators, metrics, and strategies, and you can just search for indicators. The most used are the EMA, moving average exponential, as you can see here. You can then, if you found the indicator you want to add, you can click it, and then you'll see it'll appear in the left upper corner. You can change it. Again, this is the EMA 9, so usually we use the 50 and the 200. If you again press that wheel, settings wheel, you'll get into settings, and you can change, in this case, the EMA to 50. So now we have the 50 EMA. Also, in settings of most indicators, you can alter the style of the indicator. So in this case, for the EMA goes, I can change the color to the color I like, and that fits my layout. I can also alter the thickness. So some people like a thick line, some people like it thin. So you can change it here, and you can change the opacity. So it are all straightforward settings in my opinion, but it's good to have seen them once. So just play around a bit with the settings, but know that you can find it always in the top left corner when adding indicators. And sometimes, like if you add the relative strength index, which is an indicator that is shown below the chart, the indicator doesn't show here, but it shows on the indicator itself. So as you can see here, RSI 14 with the wheel, the settings wheel, to change the settings. And again, for RSI, you'll have a lot of style settings you can change. So you can change the colors of the lines, you can change the color of the filling in the middle. You can even change, if you want, the middle band and the upper band, etc. Yeah, good question, Joe. If you can do well on 2 indicators. Yeah, you have some, like what you can do. I would say you would definitely need minimum of 2, like using the 50 and the 200 EMA. So if you only have 2 indicators, you should switch constantly. I think there are some alternatives by making a script. Some people, and I'm not sure where it was shared a while ago, there's some script that can make you, even with those only 2 indicators, make you have more indicators on a chart. So you have also, like say if you want an EMA 50 and the EMA 200, so I can then add 2 times an EMA. But what I also can do, because having the RSI and 2 EMAs, that wouldn't be possible. No, that's not dodgy. That's not dodgy. That's just you can you can use scripts to script indicators. So we don't do dodgy things in here. But anyway, so let's say if you're on the free version of Tradingview, it'll probably won't let you add 2 times in EMA and the RSI, because that's 3 indicators. So what you can do if you want, let's say for example, you want the RSI indicator and you want 2 EMAs. Let's remove these 2. Go to indicators and search for EMA. And these are the technicals. These are from TradingView itself, but here you'll see community scripts. And if you go through community scripts, you'll see a lot of scripts that you can use. Like I said, no dodgy dealing. Nikki, just scripts made by the community. And this is a community script that has the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200 EMA. So let's say I take this script. It'll show me those 4 EMAs. So again, not all, but some you can alter. So let's say it's the 20, 50, 100, 200, 20, 50, 100, and 200. Let's say I want only the 50 and the 200. I just turn off the 20 and the 100, and then also can change the color and the thickness, etc. So this way I have this tree. I have the 20. In this case, I have now the 50 and the 200 EMA on my chart, but it just counts as one indicator. There's also indicators that, let's see if I can find one EMA indicator, that you can alter also the input of. Here's a 3 EMA. I'm just trying to see. Yes, this one is a 3 EMA. It says 10, 50, 200, but you can change it yourself. So let's say I can make it a 21, 100, and a 200. And of course, this doesn't change, but I can change it myself. So I change it now to a 21, 100 EMA, and a 200 EMA. And as you can see, they show on the chart. Can use this in the case you want to use multiple EMAs with just one indicator. And it goes for some more things. I would say just take off the volume ticks, because that's also an indicator. So you can take off volume because it is good to watch and look at volume sometimes, but it's not always very necessary to look at when starting out. I think EMAs are more, how do you say it, are more important, and the RSI, for example. So remember that on every indicator, it has this settings wheel, and you can change whatever you want. And just go through and change something or tick something on or off, and you'll see directly a change on the indicator. So if I tick off the background fill, you'll see automatically this fill turn off. So that's a way to find out what things do. So this is the RSI, purple line. I can change that to black and make it a little thick so I can see it better. And then the RSI based MA, the moving average, I can make that red, so that suits my style more, for example. So that is regarding indicators. So on indicators, you can have a lot of things that you can just search for. But when starting out, just keep it simple. Try to keep clean charts, aesthetic, like Harsh will always say. Keep aesthetic charts that are not too clogged up, because it only clouds your judgment. The more indicators, the more you will try to find a reasoning for a trade, and the more you want to see things line up before you take a trade. So personally, I think the simpler you keep it, the better, because sometimes simple just works. Okay, in the left hand bar, this is what you will use most for charting. You'll have the lines and the channels and the pitchforks. Usually you just use the trend line. As you can see, I have some favorites added, and that are the lines that I use most. That also goes for the Gann and Fibonacci tools. Fib retracement is what I use most. If you go through these tools you can use and you favorite them, and I'm not sure if there is a max. Again, I don't know if you're on free, if there is a max, but if you favorite what you want, so you click the star and then go in the top, in the bottom left corner, you'll see a star 2. If you click that, you'll get a toolbar with your favorites on it. I don't use that anymore. Let's take that off. So let's see here, the circle. I still use the circle, but not as much. So I'll take that off for now, and also the signpost. So as you can see, here are the tools that I use the most. And you can turn it on and off by using this favorite tool, and you can favorite your tool by clicking the star that's behind it. So if I add this to the favorites, you'll see the text also going there. It's more convenient if I have them here, because this is what I use most. So I don't have to select it every time I want to use it. It's just right there. So these, well, possibly you'll use trend line the most, then Fibonacci retracement tool. And also for that, I think settings, we talk a lot about settings. If you start with settings of the Fibonacci, let's do the, I can't apply defaults. This is the default setting of the Fibonacci tool. It's crazy. I'm not sure who made this up, but this is something that I wouldn't like on my chart. So let's say if you draw a Fibonacci for the first time, Fibonacci retracement or extension, doesn't matter. Let's say I'm drawing here. You'll see these rainbow colored Fibonacci tool. So I'll show you how to alter that or change that. Again, if you select the Fibonacci tool you just drew, go to settings and go to style. And if you are in style, you'll see a lot of numbers. First, I tend to always lose the trend line. I don't need it there. Then you can have background or not. I think it's easier for the eye if the background is turned off. And then you can see which Fibonacci levels are shown on the chart. So usually I just use the standard levels. You can, of course, add a level if you want, like the golden pocket levels. 0.65. So you can, let's see if I'm not mistaking that. Yeah, 61865. So let's say I want to add golden pocket. You can just change the numbers. So you can make this 65. You'll see here it'll add. That's the golden pocket I use, between 618 and the 65. Again, you can change the colors of the lines here. You can make it all just black if you want, or any other color you think that fits your layout or is better for you to use. But again, it's straightforward. Click the color, change the color, and then press OK. You can click on and off for certain levels. So if you don't want to show the 318 and the 05, you can turn them off. You can have prices shown or just levels. And if you want to show levels, you can have values or percentages, but put it to values is best. And then you can choose also if you want the labels to be on the left side or on the right side or on the center. Center is a bit crazy. So usually on the right side. Personally, I use that. Well, top, middle, bottom is just makes them shift a bit. And then the font size you can change also smaller or higher. So again, it's straightforward, but you got to find where you alter these. So again, if you have drawn a Fibonacci level, you can then tick the fib and go into settings, and then on style you can change the style of the Fibonacci in the way you want. Yeah, about the golden pocket. Well, what I did was I made the golden pocket look a bit, I'm not sure, golden. So 6.5. If you do it like this, it already stands out. So this makes it look like, yeah, and I think you can't add background to just one block. So you can't just, let's see if I can do that. No, it's either background on all levels with different colors, or on none. So in this case, you would just change the color of the lines 618 and the 65, so they stand out as the golden pocket. Yeah, I can also extend levels right or left, but that's, in my opinion, not something I will use. You can also here change the thickness of the levels. Again, make it a dashed line or a dotted line, whatever it suits you best. So there's a lot you can change, but not need to change. But some people will find those colors suited for them and working for them. And then I would say just use it like that. So that's a bit about the fib retracement or fib extension tool. Well, the rest looks a bit straightforward, but if you want to use one of these things to draw on the chart, you just go in the left hand bar and you just click whatever you want to use. This is a trend line, so you can draw a trend line, and again you can have quick settings here, so the color and the thickness of the line, and the form of the line is the dash line, dot line. And also you can again, if you go into settings, so if you select the trend line, you can change a lot of things. You can add price range, percentage change in pips, etc. Some things, most of the things I do not ever use. Yeah, great addition. How do you send screenshots? Screenshots isn't difficult. So you can see your right hand side, you have on the top, there's a camera. If you hover over that, it will say take a snapshot. Take a snapshot, click on it, and you can download image. It's good to know if you see the 3 dots in the top bar. There you have settings. And under general, it'll show you where your downloads will go. You can also choose location for each download if you want it in separate maps or if you download different things. But you can also have a standard map where they will be downloaded. So you press take a snapshot, then you download the image, and then you have a pop-up saying, okay, we'll do this in downloads. And then you can save it to the map where you want to save it. Something else I do use, but I think it's more if you are maybe more experienced in the end, you can also, let's say for the fib, as you can see here, I have different drawing templates. And again, I don't know for sure how this is on the basic version, but you can save your drawing template. So let's say I have changed this setup to be all with golden pocket, and I like this, then I can click the I click the fib, and I go to these 3 blocks with the plus, and I save the drawing template. And let's do this as example, and I save it. Then next time, if you have a different, let's see, you have a different setup. This is the standard one, and I want to change it quickly. It'll show here as an example, and you can tick it, and it will change automatically to the golden pocket setup. And like you see, I have the golden pocket, I have a range, I have a standard, but also only the golden pocket. If I tick that, you will see only the golden pocket with a light 0 and 1. So that was a screenshot. This was the fibs. Well, the tools, I won't go through all the tools, but like I said, you can favorite your tools by giving them a star, and then they will show up in this bar. Makes it handier to use. Goes the same for the time frames. I didn't talk about time frames yet. As you can see, you'll see my time frames in this bar, but normally they are not. They are shown as, it will show, let's see. Standard, you will just see, you will see it like this. It's just one time frame that's shown here. So again, in this case, if you favorite your most used time frames, they will appear here. As you can see, it's easier. I don't have to open it to select them, so they will keep in this upper bar. Then we have candles. You can use certain candle sorts, all different kind of. I never change that, only use normal candles. Well, this was the indicators we talked about. You can search any indicator you want. You can add it. Then you can go into settings if you want to change it. You can add an alert here, or you can add an alert while hovering over the sidebar and clicking on the plus. Then there is a replay option. I'm not sure if the replay option is available on the free version, but the replay option just lets you replay the chart. Sometimes that's helpful if you want to have a look at certain strategies you want to use and want to see if they work or not. So it'll let you get back to a certain point on the chart, and then you can play as sort of a movie. You can play the price action, so you can see if something you thought of worked or didn't work, etc. So that's replay. Well, you can undo your latest modifications in here. Then we have multiple views. You can watch two charts next to each other. It's more advanced, and I think it's not an option on the free version, but if you have the paid version, you can have two charts next to each other. Sometimes it helps to just have a chart from the 1 hour on the left and maybe the 15 minutes on the right, just to look for more confluence. I'm not using that much personally, so I usually stick to just one chart. We had the settings, full screen mode, and we did a snapshot. Then on the right hand side, you'll have your watch lists. Like I said, so if you go to your different watch lists, you can create new ones, and you can add coins to your watch lists. We have the alerts section. So as you can see, we did set those alerts, but they didn't show it immediately. So you can remove your alerts here too. As you can see, it says stop. It's the alerts log. So I can remove this. And this shows the active alerts. As you can see here, I have 3 alerts from the 20. So I have 20 alerts available. This is the object tree. I only use this when I do like the explainer videos from for the 180 trade challenge. Let's say I have already a long position drawn out with those 1R and 2R and 3R trend lines. It's easy to hide them from the object tree. So when I don't have to draw them again, I just can unhide them. That was the trick, Nikki, that you asked. I saw your question about how does it appear out of nowhere. It appears from the object tree, where you can hide and unhide your drawings on a chart. Hot lists, nothing I really use. The calendar gives you also information about upcoming news events. Then there's ideas. You can put your own ideas here, etc. Not something I really use personally much, or nothing, not at all. I'm just focused on the charts.